Welcome back to the basement, everybody. So, as I was reading Lord of Chaos recently, I was struggling a little bit with getting into it, so I decided to pick up and read All Systems Red by Martha Wells, which is Murderbot Diaries #1. Now, this is, as I believe, a series of novellas. Obviously, this one is. It's incredibly short. It was about 145 pages, 160 pages, whatever it was. 152. Something like that. But I had heard so many rave reviews about this series and this novella specifically that I wanted to pick it up. I already owned it. I brought it with me to my parents' house, so I figured, why not? I could read it in, a couple hours and just get it out of the way. And while I did like it overall, I feel a little bit as if this was a little bit too hyped. I don't know. It seems like everybody was kind of holding this up as this, great piece of science fiction, one of the best novellas in the genre. I liked it. It was good. If you know my stance on Goodreads, stars and reviews, I gave it 3, which means I liked it, and nothing more. That's all that means. But this does tell a pretty interesting story and, I guess, foundational piece to what is going to further the character of Murderbot itself. I wanted to say himself, but itself. So if you don't know what Murderbot is, this series follows Murderbot, a self-named construct in this sci-fi universe in the distant future. So there's this company called The Company, this big corporation that kind of owns everything, and they send out exploration units, groups to various planets to scope them out, see if they can colonize them, and they send these sec units, which Murderbot is, to assist with the mission, protect the crew, that kind of thing. They're pretty much just programmed to do that, and that is all they're programmed to do. They have a governor, I believe it was a governor's chip that's inserted in these constructs that basically is their programming, and that's all they're allowed to do. Every once in a while, for some reason, one malfunctions and kills a bunch of people. And other than that, though, these people just get these sec units. They expect them to kind of be this, machine to just assist them in their mission and then come back. Murderbot is unique in the sense that it has, I don't know if they actually explained it or not, but the premise is it has hacked its governorship, right? Murderbot, self-named construct, has hacked its own governor module to sort of override its programming, and it doesn't really like its job. It doesn't want to be a sec unit, essentially. It, for whatever reason, is obsessed with serial dramas. It's downloaded however many, 375 episodes of a show called Sanctuary Moon, and it will make damn sure that you know that it likes watching serials, and specifically Sanctuary Moon, as it's mentioned several times throughout this book, where it would rather be watching that than pretty much doing anything else. But these constructs are pretty interesting in concept, where they're basically half robot, half flesh. They're not human. They are artificially made, but they do have flesh. They bleed. They are sort of encased in this suit, but when you take it off, they do kind of look human. And there's augmented humans, there's regular humans, so there's all kinds of sci-fi goodness being built here. But seeing as this is just a novella, I feel like it can only get expanded to a certain degree. This is very much just focused on Murderbot itself. It's told through its point of view, its interactions with the crewmates and humans in general, which it's sort of socially awkward and anxious around them. It doesn't like interacting with humans. It likes to just pretend that it is still just under the guise of its governor module, and would rather, again, just kind of kick back, relax, and just watch TV. There are some interesting ideas here where, of course, their mission goes sideways. Murderbot has to actually go beyond its programming and act in a sense that it otherwise wouldn't if it was just a typical sec unit. So this kind of perks the ears up of the entire crew. They want to get to the bottom of why this bot is not following its programming, and you kind of go from there. I don't want to get into any spoilers here, but I did appreciate it for what it was, being this sort of interesting sci-fi novella, and it's definitely interesting enough that I want to continue and read what's next, because I feel like the foundation of this short story can really be built upon and expanded in a lot of ways. But right now, just as it is, it was a good story. It was well done. The rest of the characters they're fine. This is really just about Murderbot. You don't get a ton of characterization from the rest of the crew, Dr. Mensa, everybody else. They're just kind of facilitating the story. There's no real like massive sci-fi world building or, you know, technological explanations, science, things like that. Because it's a novella, you don't really need to explain all that. Otherwise, you'd have a full-blown novel. So I expect maybe the rest of the books will expand on that. I don't know if these are all novellas, but the story that was told here was definitely interesting. It's super quick to read. Like I said, it's very short. You can read it in a weekend at most. I mean, even if you're a slow reader, it's not going to take you more than a couple hours to read this. It's super light. I mean, even the 150 pages that it has, I mean, it's, you know, not super small text, margins pretty big. It goes quick. It's sort of like Discworld in that sense, where the margins and the formatting make it super digestible. I think there's only like 8 chapters, whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't want to spoil anything. It's pretty short, so anybody that does pick this up that hasn't already, you're going to fly through it, and you'll make up your mind for yourself. Murderbot's definitely an interesting character. I do want to see where it goes from here, and hopefully, and what I'm hoping for from the rest of these books is getting to expand the world and see what else is out there in this universe, because there are interesting concepts here and I want to see them expanded on. So overall, I did like it. I wasn't blown away. I don't think it's some like masterpiece. So I guess I'm a little bit different than most people that seem to have read this and kind of praise it, but it was good. So that's my thoughts on Murderbot, book number 1. So like, subscribe. As always, do hit up Patreon if you want to support the channel financially. Always appreciated and always optional. Definitely jump in Discord though, or leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on All Systems Red, where the series goes from here. If you love it, if you hate it, let me know in the comments down below. So until next time, everybody, keep reading.